Luna and I are on a little sunset stroll here in Kalaloch in Olympic National Park here in Washington State in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. You know, I'm noticing as I'm starting this for, I wasn't going to say, but like the fourth time, that when I speak off of a script, it's really kind of loose-ended. And when I speak on a script, it sounds like I've got a gun to my head. But the rough drafts so far have been disappointing enough that I've wanted to start over. And my script still isn't very script-like. More than anything, I'm trying to be conscious of keeping my train of thought. Travelogue over my shoulder here, Pacific Ocean behind the camera, and a setting sun, which should be beneath the horizon in a little less than an hour. These rocks are probably hard to walk on, but I don't think she likes walking this close to the water. This is the field of, this is Kalaloch Creek or river coming out between this couple of trees here and the lodge building to the right. There's a stream that comes right out into the ocean here. Kind of forms this little puddle of water. The tide has come in. We're getting close to the full moon, probably 5 days away. I think the tide will probably be a lot more eventful come full moon. Last night we were walking on that side. We found a little thrown together bridge. Just a little bridge pieced together with a couple of long pieces of wood or logs and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if it's still available. I would think it would be, because if the water hasn't made it up to where I'm walking now, then it probably hasn't covered that bridge. Some strong wind. Hopefully it's not too hard to hear me shouting at the camera. Some beautiful waves. A very well-mannered, very intuitive dog. Who's doing what? I don't know. I don't know. She's on a mission. There's the moon just over my shoulder. Look at this bluff of trees going all the way down there. South toward Mexico. North going toward Canada. All of these logs are driftwood, essentially. I mean, it is driftwood, but it's not the driftwood you're used to seeing in painted in an art gallery. These are pretty massive. As a matter of fact, to that point, how have I never seen anybody paint driftwood like that? Maybe I have and I just hadn't paid attention to it. But these pieces are massive. They're huge. 100 feet long, some of them. And it's a marvel to me that they were able to wash downstream from a river, or that they got, you know, that they toppled off the edge of a dirt cliff somewhere along this region. Somebody I talked to earlier said that some of these are Alaskan yellow cedar. I think I'm saying that right, or remembering it right. Maybe it's pine. But that's really substantial. It's a big tree. I hate to be so goofy about it, but I'm telling you, it's impressive. If you've never seen, you know, most driftwood that I've seen is something that you could put in the back of your car if you were duly ambitious. But some of these pieces, I don't know how you would move them. You'd have to get a piece of machinery back here, but here's our little makeshift bridge. She's on the lookout. She's waiting for more cuetas, more fireworks. This may not be here in a little bit though, but you can see the water flowing. It comes downstream here, out into the Pacific Ocean. Is it ready? It's good. This is the tricky one. The other one was tricky. I wanted to see some of this part, the mouth of the river where it lets into the Pacific Ocean, because the accumulation of trees is just so big. It's such a big area, which is cool. But like this is a whole postcard for me. This is something I would look for a postcard for. But I don't even think this makes anybody's list of 10 things you have to see in Olympic National Park or the Pacific Northwest or whatever. Like some of the places that I've seen are the same places like that they've always been. I'm not getting my words out right, but what I'm saying is I see the same, locations all the time. Rarely do I see anything about this. Well, never have I seen anything about this, at least not that I can remember. But this is awesome. Come on, Luna, let's see if we go up. I think we can go up this way. And, oh, sorry. If you go, oh, never mind. I see you got some bumps today. Look at that. This vast field of trees. It's just a debris field. I love letting my imagination run away with what this could be. Other than obviously driftwood from giant trees. But like I keep saying, imagine if this was the bone of some creature. You've seen a T-Rex or a Brachiosaurus in a dinosaur exhibit in a museum. But imagine something even larger than that, because these would be massive bones. I don't think most of these would be. Maybe that would be like a Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus type of bone, because they are. What's got really big bones? Freaking whales, man. We saw a beached whale in Monterey back in 21, and it was beached and then it rotted. I think it got picked at by, I don't know, whatever picks at whale carcasses on a beach. Birds, I would suppose, but it was a big whale. But its vertebrae were exposed by the end of the episode. And those vertebrae are big, like nightstand, coffee table type of that area. I probably could not carry one under one arm. I could definitely wrap my arm around one of them, the bigger of them, so about that size. But those are big bones. I don't think I've ever thought about the skeletal structure of a whale, at least not very often. But things like there's certain bones that whales have that other mammals have, but you think of a whale as a fish until somebody teaches you otherwise. And the bone structure is one of those things that you can compare, like they don't have fish fins. They have like feet fins, like the same number of digits, and it's easy to tell that they would have evolved from mammals. The point being, those bones are like that. Let's go have a look at that one. That's about on par with what maybe a little on the large side compared to what I saw. Yeah, that's a little bigger than what I saw, but they were, no, maybe not. Come this way. Can I use you for a size comparison? If you don't mind, she's on the lookout. Come up this way. Por favor. Ahí, quédate. Ahí. Gracias. Yeah, about that big. About that big. This might be bigger by a little bit, but those whale vertebrae were ridiculous. And like I said, I've got a little bit of working knowledge of a whale bone. You know, you might have seen a skull in a museum, or like I said about the toes, like having the same number of digits as a mammal foot does. Things of that nature. But I hadn't really thought about whale bones to any extent until I saw them, and then I realized, man, those things, because it's not the kind of thing you just pick up and haul off. It did get picked up and hauled off piece by piece, but you know, it's not like you're just, you know, throwing it in your bag and strolling with it. It's large. It's like an awkward shaped large, which I find. And it's I hope she finds some fish. She's found fish a few times. And it is a little, I'm sure it is heavy. I don't remember picking it up or anything like that, but yeah, whale bone is probably pretty heavy, so don't let me guess the weight of it. But anyway, imagine something like this. I mean, it would have to be something on the scale of a whale. Look, and we're just walking through the field of debris. These are all just fallen trees. I don't know, man. That's pretty wild to me. I've never seen this. I might have imagined it. Like I said, maybe I've seen something like this before and just didn't commit it to memory. That doesn't seem like my... Given how freaked out it's making me, actually being here and seeing it. You know, there's a similar one in Yellowstone. I don't recall the name of the feature. It was next to some of the sulfur hot spring type chimneys, or whatever they're called, geysers. But they weren't geysers. They were just kind of fuming vents, I think maybe is the proper designation. You know, they were steaming like a tea kettle. But they weren't, or maybe more like boiling water. Yeah, I guess like a kettle, but you know, they weren't making violent noise or anything like that. But the feature I'm thinking of wasn't, and it's by the lake, Yellowstone Lake. But the feature I'm talking about is the place where I guess all the trees had been burned. I guess they weren't all charred. That's why it was confusing for me. But they were all fallen over like this, just not nearly as large in, you know, diameter. See, we walked from all the way over there. I would advise you to be careful of this one. That's a little makeshift roof shelter type of operation there. But I don't know if that roof has been rated for pedestrian traffic. Like, okay, look at this. Look at me. Look at this. Look at the side. There's just a little knuckle. But it's massive. And all these trees had branches. Imagine how much canopy space they created. And we're just walking along. I get to stay out of the sand, practice my balance and my agility. Luna's getting a little exercise. We were chilling today. We had a slow start. We had a slow start to the day. And come on this way. What if you come this way and you jump? All right. We had a slow start to the day, and then I wanted to record some of this earlier, and my phone is full, which is just, you know, that's my cross to bear. I take a lot of pictures and I don't offload them with the discipline and intention that I should. What do you think? Coming down here? Nice. So I had to offload some of those, but naturally you want to offload the old ones first. Those are probably buried, you know, unless something drastic changes in my personality type. Oh, maybe some bubbles over here. Little sand dollar. Oh man, sand dollar would be sick. I don't think I've ever found a sand dollar. Yeah, I don't think I have. No, maybe in Galveston. Anyway. You want to offload the older photos first. The newer ones can still be salvaged. I might actually do something with those. Or some little Instagram draft that I'm working on. Probably, you know, those would still have to be on there on the phone, so you can't delete them. Anyway, I'm offloading them onto like an external hard drive. And, but in order to offload she's just burning through that sand, dude. She loves it. I love that she loves it. I love knowing that she loves it. She wasn't very comfortable coming down here, but since we've been down here, she's gotten comfortable. She's having fun. She likes the sand. And there's a lot of good smells out here. I don't know what you know about smells, but there's some real good ones down here. Other dogs, somebody's leftover snacks. What do you think? We going this way or this way? Yeah. Dead animals, marine animals, which is something we don't get, you know, a lot of exposure to necessarily, unless you're by the coast or, you know, you're place where they fish. So she likes the smells. And she likes the sand. There's a little trail back there that goes up to the, okay, I see where we are now. So that's one trail going up to the campground. This little man-made wall of driftwood, that's a good use for the driftwood, I guess. Help kind of retain the beach. That wall is the one we walked down yesterday. That next wall, which I don't think you can quite make out in this picture, is the one nearest the parking lot and nearest the Tree of Life. So we didn't come down or go up that one yesterday, but we did walk out there last night to take some star pictures. And sand is good PT, man. My whole core is engaged. This would be a good one. What if we just got our little community together and whatever means you get down the beach, you know, take a bike or float, or I don't know, I guess you can walk, but she just runs spontaneously. I hope she's enjoying it. I hope she's not freaked out. What if you just, do a mile a day on the beach at sunset, or 2 miles? You could do 2 miles easy. We've probably walked a mile already. I don't know, this is at 20 minutes. I usually walk like a 12-minute mile if I'm walking. You know, I wouldn't call this walking, but yeah, we've walked at least a mile. You can do a couple miles down on the beach, a couple miles back. Call it a day, man. Your legs will be sore, your food will have digested, your organs would have gone through their processes. A little clear your head before bed, a little or whatever you plan to do in the night. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Let's see. She might be curious what's going on over there. If they have anything that looks like a house, she'll jump in it. If she's really concerned about fireworks or booms or anything else. Hey, déjalo en paz, Luna. Hey, no, this way. Come on. Hey. She won't do anything to it, but she will leave a nice little urinary deposit. There she goes. And there she goes. Got a few more minutes. But it's getting low in the horizon. There's an island out there, by the way. Lighthouse on it. That's cool. Tell me how great this is. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is a feast for the senses. It's not just the visuals. The air is good. I promise. Somebody can do some sort of research to show the quality of this air, not just the cleanness of it, but the freshness of it coming off of these trees. What are you thinking about? Let's go see the tree of life again. That was a good trip. Hey, you better go run. No. Probably the smell, although I couldn't tell you nothing about smell. Hey, this way. She's gonna go bark at those people. She's been doing that, but she's sneezing too, like she's playing. Anyway, let's see. Where's our tree of life, Luna? Come on. Look at all these trees, shaped by the wind, metaphorically and figuratively. I mean, no, wait, literally. But you can see how it would be a metaphor, right? It is crazy to me. I'm going to start wrapping up with this. So I'm going to enjoy some sunset with her. But, hey, babe, what are you thinking? You want to ride? You want to go for a ride? Come on. It's crazy, though, to see places like this and different. I just mean places like this in the sense of places that really capture your attention, captivate you, make you think about stuff. It's crazy to see this and think, there's no way this is real, and then realize that it is real, and then live the same way. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I've told the story several times. I'm not going to go into it now, inshallah, but because you never know. But when we went to the Tetons when I was a teenager, that little experience that I had there, you know, that was like a switch on a train track. And that definitely, along with a lot of other things, some great, some not so great, but that definitely shaped my young mind. It at least shaped my philosophy. I don't know. I guess the folds in my brain had probably already settled by then. And I was just connecting synapses and reinforcing patterns and triggers at that phase of my childhood, my mid to late teenage years. But it left an indelible impression on me. Had I never gone back I would have still had a very, very special place in my heart for Grand Teton National Park and the Tetons themselves and what they look like against a moonless night sky. But I knew I wanted to go back. I've always wanted to go back. We finally did that this year, and here we are. So my point is, even at that age, when I had not lived enough of life necessarily to even know what was, what I wanted, what a lot of the reality of life was, what mattered to people, what didn't matter, the kinds of people that people could be, including yourself. There's a lot you don't know at that age, unfortunately, because you're thrust into the world and told it's on your shoulders now. Maybe not the best advice for a young person, especially given that everybody's development is a little bit different. But not necessarily wrong advice either, because that's the way the world is. But you come to a place like this, or the Tetons, at 25, 30, 40, 50, you see this, and it doesn't set your life on a different course somehow. I don't know what you're made of inside. Because this, man, even if you grew up with this your whole life, you know that there's something special happening right there. You're a part of that, and it's a part of you, like not in like a metaphysical, metaphorical way. You're literally a part of that ecosystem behind me. The tides, the phases of the moon, the seasons, the shaping of the land. It feels apart from you, maybe because you've been brought up and conditioned to acknowledge it as a separate thing. There's a tree, right? There's sand. There are trees. There is the water. Right? These are all things I'm identifying outside of myself. But they're all the beach. It all makes the beach. You know what else makes the beach? Right now I do. This dog does. And in the grander scheme of things, so do you. And that's crazy. How do you come see this? And I don't know. But we're here at the Tree of Life. We're going to enjoy sunset together. And we're going to enjoy our walk back to the vehicle. So from Olympic National Park in the Pacific Northwest, on this beautiful July 5th sunset. Good night.